Hello and welcome back to today's episode of the Is Kpop podcast, in which I talk about groups, members, discographies, choreographies, outfits, concept photos, survival shows, my personal opinion on things, basically all things K-pop to eventually answer the question, what is K-pop? I guess what would the word be? It's like a waymark, I guess, because I think we're on episode 35 or 36, and that seems like a good number to talk about so far. What I think K-pop is. It's just, I guess it's just like music made in South Korea, I guess. If you can hear some bashing in the background, we're hosting, I guess, not really hosting, but we're having a mini birthday party for my sister, as she isn't going to actually be with us on her birthday. She's going to be back at uni. So we're making a feast, basically, for her. And I made pizza pinwheels, so like pastry with a sauce on it. We used tomato puree with ham and cheese, rolled up, cut into refrigerated for a bit, cut up into little pinwheels and with a little bit of cheese on it. Cook them and they are good. And I made some cornbread with bacon in it, and I don't know if I don't think I've mentioned this, but I genuinely hate all kind of cuts, I guess you could call them, or meat that comes from that animal that isn't sausages. I hate all of the meat that comes from that animal. I'm kind of okayish with pork sometimes, but for me, that meat, I don't know, there's just something about it that gives me the wobblies. I don't know why though in particular, but if you are at all as well curious about my feelings on meat, the only meat that I really eat predominantly is chicken and beef, and it is only ever in small quantities, even when I do eat it, and it's just thinking about it, learning about how the process comes about. I really can understand vegans and vegetarians choices to not consume that stuff, because honestly I read it and I was like, this is awful, holy hell. I don't often kind of talk about I don't often talk about it, but oh my good lordy Lou. I've got stuff on me now, but no, don't like it at all. Completely irrelevant to what we are talking about today. We're talking about HYBE's third self-made girl group, ILLIT, and their survival show Are You Next, which was organised through B-Lift Lab and JTBC. ILLIT debuted on the 25th of March 2024, so it has only been a couple of weeks since they debuted, and already they have sold over 380,000 copies of their debut EP in South Korea, 16,000 in Japan, and 4,000 in the US. Unfortunately, there isn't a tally on worldwide, but I do imagine that it was the same sort of reception. ILLIT has been mentioned, or at least like discussions have taken place that they are kind of similar to New Jeans. However, I don't exactly see it like fully. Like, I understand kind of the vibe, but I personally think that like ILLIT are bringing more of a like a I don't know how to describe it, but like not whimsical, because whimsical is like fairies, but I'm just pulling up their K profile right now. My internet's a bit slow at the moment, but I think that New Jeans' debut was definitely Y2K girls who have decided to sing, make a dance, and be like that. And their second release with OMG and Ditto was very much like school, like being in school, making that sort of imagination up. And then OMG is more like maybe when like imagination gets too much, or no, not really like that, but imagining like you as the actual like being in place, being in your imagination. And with Get Up, which was their third release, I think that one was more like really playing into like the digital era and like going 2020s Y2K as opposed to full on like Y2K, because I don't know if like people are really realizing this about Y2K. Like, it is Y2K coded, or like it is on brand of Y2K, but like things were a lot different in like that time, because like you had like things like I nearly said a Walkman, but that was 1980s. You had like MP3 players, you had like iPod touches, you had like the first iterations of the iPhone. So the reason why like the stuff that we saw in Y2K is the way that it is. My internet is really bad today. Is the way it is because of it being of its time, and isn't something that can really be replicated no matter how much. Oh yeah, I see it a little bit now with that picture. Like, you can't recreate something that was so of its time, really. I just want to be able to see how old the flipping members are. I think all of them are like significantly younger than me, though. So I've mentioned I was born in, oh sweet Jesus, yeah, I was born in August 2003, so I'm gonna turn 20 this year. Right, so the oldest member, Yuna, was born on the 15th of January 2004, and she was in Stadium from 2018 to 2020, Source Music from 2020 to 2021, and then got transitioned to be Lift Lab, because again, like when these trainees actually appear on the shows and are like signed to be Lift Lab, it's like air quotes signed to be Lift Lab. It's actually like, it might not actually be that they're signed exactly under that company, that they might just be signed under a HYBE subsidiary, and that they are going to be working in a different subsidiary. So 2000, oh my gosh, she's 16. She was born on the 4th of February 2008, so that means she's 16. She's from Tokyo, Japan. Honestly, she looks a little bit like the New Jeans members. Like, I'd say like maybe a bit of Danielle and maybe Hayen? Is her name Hayen? The youngest, the Mac name. No, I don't want to go that way. I just... Oh, fuck. You know how I said to myself, oh, Sophie, you should stop swearing so much in your podcast so then everyone can listen to it. And then that goes Taryn towards the Rise with his ass on fire. So she was in JYP for 2 years in 2019 to 2021 and then joined ILLIT Lab in 2021. And she wrote Midnight Fiction from their debut EP, obviously. And she's friends with the M-Mix and Nishu members because they trained together when she was in that. And former Lightstorm member Jian because Jian was signed to JYP as a trainee. I don't know why on earth I can't click off of that. So all the members are relatively the same, not the same age obviously, but like close in age. And I think that ILLIT is less like Y2K as opposed to the whimsy of the 2000s. I don't know. But yeah, no, I do understand kind of where it comes from. I think it is just because of the fact that they are signed under the same company, so it is always going to be that it seems as though they're like the same, or at least they have the same kind of vibe going into it. Okay, so the cast that wasn't the members of the the contestants on the show. The host was Chae Soon Young, who was a member of a short-lived Korean-Japanese singing duo called Root O during 2002 in Japan. And oh oh my god, I was like, she looks familiar. Of course she looks familiar, Sophie, because after she came back to South Korea, she became a member of Girls' Generation. Of course that's why she looks familiar. She also, Sooyoung, not Soon Young, that's a member of 17. Sooyoung was on I Can Do It. I Can Do It. Yeah, she was in Move to Heaven, which was a K-drama on Netflix. Well, it is still on Netflix, don't worry. It's not been taken off of Netflix. It's 2021 South Korean streaming television series about this trauma cleaning business called Move to Heaven, and they work basically different to most cleaners in that they try to uncover stories that the deceased, the people who've passed away, are trying to tell them through their possessions. But unfortunately, one of the workers dies, who is passed away, who is the other's father, and the son actually has autism, or technically is called Asperger's in the show, but that's not a term that is commonly used anymore. And so the son, he can't exactly function that well by himself. Like he's perfectly able to, but like there are just some Like, for me personally, I just need, like, I still live with my parents, but I can function well on my own. I just need a little bit of help sometimes. And it's the same with this kid, and his uncle moves in with him for like what like originally is supposed to be only 3 months. The uncle wants to take over the move to heaven business and like flog it basically for all that it's worth, get loads of money, and basically leave the kid to his own devices. However, as time goes on, he learns to appreciate the son and for all of his quirks, and really begins to love him like the son that he never was able to have or would potentially have with Soon Young and her character. She only appears in 2 episodes, one of them being working with, she works in a care home, like a, not like a care home for the elderly, but like a care nursing home that looks after everyone, and she is assigned to the case of 2 elderly people who both kind of take their own lives, or the husband makes the wife take pills anyway. It's like a complicated story. I don't want to spoil it too much. And she like berates the uncle about not being supportive to the deceased, just because of the fact that, like, of the circumstances surrounding their passing. And he ends up kind of falling for him a little bit, and she actually gives the son a plant to give to his uncle, and says like, oh, please take care of this, as a way to kind of be like, oh, I might like you as well. She was in I think it was the second to last episode, as a care worker, and she was looking after or watching over, I guess I could say, a case of not an immigrant, but a boy who was adopted overseas but was deported back to South Korea due to his family not getting citizenship for him, finding out that he was ill and stuff, so he was deported back. He wasn't able to really get money, wasn't able to meet his birth mother, and he ends up passing away in his sleep, and she's like super duper upset with it, understandably, and adopts his dog, and it's kind of hinted towards that them two might eventually get together after the events of the show. I really do hope so, because them two would actually be really, really cute. Yeah. So just, oh wow, that is interesting. And also, like, the show was based, or like set, I should say, in 2020. However, obviously they were filming in 2020 for a bit, and then couldn't. They had to stop filming. So I imagine it was supposed to be released sometime during 2020, but unfortunately they had to halt filming. It was released on the 14th of May the following year. But we're talking about ILLIT, not Move to Heaven. And the cute oh my god. The coaches were Park Gyuri, who was a member of Kara, Lee Hyun, who is a soloist and also operates under the name of Midnat. However, that did not go well. It did not go well at all. What basically happened was that they HYBE, I think they wanted to make a what do you call it, like AI more of a feature in perhaps some of their music, and so they had Lee Hyun be kind of like the scapegoat for that, and make a song originally in Korean, and then like altered using AI to be in English, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, and Vietnamese. And you know, it's a good song. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not gonna hate on him, but like the views on the music video are not good. Next is Jo Kwon, who is a member of 2AM. Lee Jae Hwan, who was a part of 101. Then Akai, Vincenzo, and Mandu. Unfortunately, I don't have a Wikipedia page that I can talk about them from. Guest people was Baekhyun as a special coach for round 2. Baekhyun is a member of New East. He was in episodes 2 and 3. J Park was in episode 4, and Hyphens, Heeslim and Jungwon in episodes 5 and 6. Woozi in the same episode, and Shinkun in episode 9. I guess the reason why they had the members of in Hyphen on the show is because obviously ILLIT would be a sister group to them. So I think that is pretty sweet. Okay, so we're just gonna say all the contestants' names. I don't need to go in sections, thank God, because there are only 22. So we have Wonhee, Youngso, Minju, Roha, Mocha, Yunha, Junghyun, Jimin, Hemina, Jiwoo, Chanel, Jihyun, Funa, Suyeon, Haewon, Moa, Ruka, Yiwon, Ina, Hasul, Iris, and Yuisa. Okay. And they've got profiles on that, and that's brilliant. So pleased for that for me. Makes my life a little bit easier. So Jiwoo, prior to being on IU Next, was she majored in broadcast entertainment. She is as of the 30th of June, so like the start of the show really, in 2023, she was 21. Funa was also, okay, so I'm just going to say like the ages of the contestants. Jiwoo, Funa, and Moa were 21. Funa is Japanese, and she was a former Nizi project contestant, meaning that she would have been signed to JYP. Moa was a former P Nation and SM trainee, 2 pretty good companies. Yeah. Chanel was the only 20-year-old, and she is a Korean American. She was a trainee under UOHA Entertainment and appeared on the JTBC Stage K in 2019. Yunha, like we said, and Minju are both 19. Yunha was a former Fantasio, Stadium, and Source Music trainee. And Minju is a former YG trainee. She probably would have trained with the members of Baby Monster, like during their trainee periods, but chose to leave and signed under HYBE. When I say like HYBE, obviously it isn't like actually under HYBE because HYBE is just well, now they are considered a conglomerate. However, it is probably they're signed under a subsidiary, but HYBE is just easier to say than necessarily the company, because you know it's still HYBE at the end of the day. Junghyun, Mocha, Jihyun, and Ruka, Yeowon, and Jimin were all 18. Junghyun is a former Source Music trainee and a child actress. Mocha was a former HYBE Labels trainee, HYBE Labels Japan trainee, since she is Japanese. Jihyun was a pre-debut member of How's, former How Entertainment and UOHA Entertainment trainee. Ruka was a former Cube Entertainment and Source Music trainee and was a trainee initially in the lineup for Les Seraphim. However, they cut her quite soon before debut, I think, because she was on The World Is My Oyster documentary. Both Yewon and Jimin were both former Source Music trainees, both Korean. Haewon and Youngso were 17. Haewon was a former member of Little Cheer Girl, and Youngso was a former Source Music, Adore, and SM trainee. Youngso was initially going to be a part of ILLIT, however, they cancelled her contract after discussions with Youngso, so probably what it was is that she sometimes when you go from doing one thing to prepare for something, and then you actually get into really preparing to actually go into doing the thing that you've been prepping for. Like if you go from being a trainee to being a part of like a debut team, sometimes it can make it like you realise that you don't actually have a passion for it. So maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Yusa and Wonhee were both 16. Yusa was Japanese and Wonhee was Korean. Hassel, Iris Himina, and Soyeon, Jesus, were all 15. Aroa was a former JYP entertainment trainee, and Iris was a ballroom dancer. Iroha was Japanese, and Iris is. They are still the nationalities that they were in June last year. That doesn't change. I clocked what I said, and I'm like, they don't change the nationality. And Iris is Thai. And Aina was 12. 2011. Ew. And is a former HYBE Labels Japan trainee. The only reason I say you is literally I was in school and my sister was preparing to go to high school, like secondary school, in 2011. Like she went into year 7 in 2011. Or maybe she was even younger. Oh wait, no. International ageism. Okay, I was about to get concerned. However, sometimes it just these people just are young and things move on and stuff like that. Okay, so there isn't much to say in regards to an aftermath because, well, there hasn't been that much time since the show was on, but I can tell you a little bit. Funa joined DG Entertainment following the show, and Jimin joined Wake One. And Jimin is going to be a contestant on Island 2, which is something that I think I'll talk about the trainees in on the day after, no, day before. Yeah, did I talk about and audition Howling? I can't. No, I didn't. I only talked about the group as a whole. Okay. I guess I can talk about them for a minute. Yeah, I can do. I need to remember this. I can do whatever the hell I want to because this is my podcast and I want to. So yeah, there was 15 contestants in the And Audition show, and honestly, it is one of those things that I love the drama, because if you recall, when I did an episode about Island, I talked about this contestant called Juwon, and like it was that he was on basically what the connection was is that some of the members of some of the contestants on Island then featured on An Audition Boys as already members of the group, and the some of the contestants, one of the contestants has gone on to be on Fantasy Boys, and it's one of those things that will never get old for me, because it was just so iconic, in the worst sense ever. I mean, it's pretty bad. Juwon basically left the debut lineup 3 days before my birthday, so the 23rd of August, because basically his parents wanted Juwon to have better outfits, I think, and wanted to basically be preferred more because he was like the top level contestant. However, with that being said, he was 15th, 14th, 13th, 12th in And Audition, the Howling. So I don't know whether or not that says anything about his talent. Like I didn't watch watch Fantasy Boys, and I only watched a little bit of And Audition because I can listen to Korean. Like I can listen to Korean all day if I wanted to, and I can listen to Japanese. But when you hear them spoken for like quite fast as well, because in dramas it is relatively slowed down, so then you're understanding it a lot more. But in like real life scenarios, these people are talking sometimes very, very fast. It's like how I do sometimes, and I have to like tell myself to slow down so then my words are understandable. And I couldn't listen to it, unfortunately. Like it was very fast. It's very, very fast. Also, I just said that Yejun was 10th, so maybe it's 11th, 10th. No. Yeah, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, yeah. So he was 11th, I think. Did I say 11th? Oh my god. This is bad. Oh well. So I guess I'm just gonna talk now just about all of this fun stuff. So we actually didn't know Taki's name, like his surname, for a while, and some reason like people thought that he must have been like his family must have been like really, really like rich or something. And honestly, like probably, like I'm not gonna say that it wasn't, because I don't want to get sued. But like the likelihood is that like he just didn't want to reveal it. I just looked at the show. Apparently Min Hyung wasn't able to participate the first round, and G1 wasn't able to set the second one due to health reasons. Ain't that interesting? Oh, he injured himself. I mean, I would never say that, that might have influenced things, but I'm also not saying that it didn't do that, and also the door's just been closed. Fair enough. And Team officially debuted on the 7th of December 2022. I actually listened to that, but I've not listened to much of the stuff since then. I did mention that actually on and Team, the podcast about that one. And on the 21st of August of 2023, Gaiku and Hikaru were revealed to become debut members of another real group called 24 Kumi, which I will be listening to. However, there hasn't been any further information about that, I don't think. We'll quickly check actually. Sorry about me sniffing, it's just that I feel like I have to sniff, but like I don't know why. It's weird. My body just is weird sometimes. I'm gonna be real, it just oh my god. I'm trying to, what am I looking for? It doesn't have its own page. I'm trying to find information about this group. Oh, it doesn't seem like it has any. That's fine. Yeah, so we talked about IE Next and a bit about Audition, the Howling. And whenever the next episode is going to be up, it will be coming to a podcast near you. We love to be cringe. Yeah, so I do hope you liked it, and I will see you later. Okay, bye.